For a second straight day, emergency crews worked at cleaning up the tons of diesel fuel that has contaminated the Monongahela River near Pittsburgh. Officials fear the oil might contaminate water supplies drawn from the river.
Each year in the United States, there are about 10,000 oil spills dumping more than 200,000 barrels of oil into the environment. These figures do not include catastrophic spills, such as the Exxon Valdez incident in 1989, which dumped 250,000 barrels of oil in Prince William Sound, Alaska. The cleanup of the Valdez spill cost $2 billion, or about $8,000 per barrel spilled. Increased publicity and new legislation have made us more aware of our responsibility for the environment. The emphasis today is on contingency planning for potential spills. This approach requires an upfront investment that, if properly deployed, will save cleanup costs and minimize the pressure of public scrutiny. Introducing Oclansorb Oil Absorbent, an important product aimed at containing and cleaning up oil spills. Oclansorb Absorbent is processed by High Point Industries, a subsidiary of Nova Corporation of Alberta. Nova Corporation of Alberta is a major shareholder-owned company operating internationally from world headquarters in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. With annual sales of $4 billion, Nova is engaged in pipeline transmission of natural gas and the manufacture and marketing of materials processed from hydrocarbons. The High Point Bog at Bishop's Falls, Newfoundland, Canada, is the source of peat for Oclansorb Oil Absorbent. High Point was incorporated in 1983 with the business objective of producing an environmentally safe all-natural oil absorbent for the containment of hydrocarbon spills. Peat, naturally occurring organic material, is harvested by a vacuum process, specially screened and heat-treated to produce Oclansorb Oil Absorbent. The High Point Bog has an estimated life of more than 20 years at our current rate of harvest. High Point is supported by the technical services of Nova Husky Research in Calgary. Here at the lab, scientists test and evaluate the absorption properties of Oclansorb.
At Nova Husky Research, we've been working with High Point Industries to develop an absorbency test for Oclansorb. Oclansorb is a heat-derived peat product used for absorbing all hydrocarbons. Oclansorb in the heating process is dried down to 5% moisture. This makes the Oclansorb oleophilic or oil absorbent. We put a weighed amount of the Oclansorb into our container and then a known amount of the liquid to be absorbed. This test has been used to determine the absorbency of many hydrocarbons, such as alcohols, ethers, chlorinated solvents, such as dichloromethane, and the miscellaneous petroleum products, such as oil, crude oil, and heavy oil, gasoline, jet fuel. In this test, we're determining the absorbency of a synthetic absorbent, a peat-derived absorbent, and Oclansorb. At the end of 5 hours, we can determine how much hydrocarbon has been released by the absorbent. Oclansorb clearly outperforms the other two absorbents.
In our next demonstration, we're showing bunker C oil being applied to the surface of clean, clear water. You know, if such oil was to hit a water surface, it could create an environmentally dangerous situation for fish habitat, birds, and groundwater could be contaminated. But when Oclansorb is applied to that hydrocarbon, it renders it neutral from attacking the banks, shorelines, even to the fish and wildlife. Notice that Oclansorb is hydrophobic. It floats, and once it contacts an oil surface, it will float indefinitely. Watch what happens when the Oclansorb is drawn back from the surface of water. Oclansorb is truly a unique product. Here in another demonstration, we have a 30-gallon fish aquarium that's been coated with oil, and I'm smoothing the Oclansorb across the surface. Please note that it's already attacked that hydrocarbon, and it's ready for pickup. Protruding my fingers down through the oil surface, you can see that Oclansorb has captured that oil. Now, we're ready for pickup, but first of all, let us introduce you to our friend Valdez. You know, Oclansorb was used in Alaska at Prince William Sound on Applegate Island. It proved to be a friend to the environment in Alaska as well as it will for your oil-related needs. Oclansorb is a product that works. And for you environmentalists, Valdez is going to prove that Oclansorb, once used on a hydrocarbon surface, will not cause damage to the soft down feathers of this duck. Asking my assistant to hand me some of the paper towels, we're going to dry off Valdez, and please note, those feathers have no oil whatsoever. And if I can ever gather up these great big feet, we're going to show you there's no oil on the bottom of those feet either. Oclansorb does a job. And now let's see how Oclansorb is packaged. Oclansorb comes to you in our convenient 13-liter and 44-liter bulk bags. 13-liter bags will absorb 23 liters or 6 U.S. gallons. Our 44-liter bag will absorb 69 liters or 18 U.S. gallons.
Use Oclansorb and Sorb socks for emergency response to spill incidents at airports and accidents. Oclansorb oil absorbent is used at refineries and bulk stations in the event of a small spill. Being prepared to respond quickly to a spill may save you time and cleanup costs. Sorb socks is the tube or sock form of Oclansorb. Sorb socks is available in 1.2 meter or 4-foot lengths with 15 socks per case and 2.4 meter or 8-foot lengths with 6 Sorb socks per case. Sorb socks are used to absorb oil from around these compressors, which run 24 hours a day. The switch to Sorb socks has resulted in considerable savings at this compressor station. Small spills should be contained with Sorb socks. Distribute Oclansorb onto the hydrocarbon. Work the hydrocarbons into the Oclansorb with a squeegee or broom. The saturated Oclansorb can then be disposed of either in a landfill or by incineration. Don Calicut of Sieber and Calicut, distributor of Oclansorb oil absorbent in the East Texas area.
We're in the oil field area here that we had a leak further upstream from this slough where we're standing here now. As a result of this leak, if it would have been contained from the start with a containment boom and using a proper oil absorbent like Oclansorb, we wouldn't have had this potential hazard that we have here now. The leak began at the battery. It run down the hill, flowed down through the grassy area here, and it entered the creek over at this point at the base of the creek. When it entered the creek, we had a 3-inch rain overnight. The creek rose. It went downstream about 3/4 of a mile downstream and entered a slough. The water level come up to about this point right here, and it's got all the stain on the trees, the oil on the limbs, and it's got this bank area stained here. In other words, if we would have had it contained by using oil absorbent like Oclansorb from the beginning, the cost factor now of cleaning this spill up compared to if we'd have had it at an early stage is quite a difference. You know, this probably will cost 10 times the amount.
Oclansorb is a lightweight, high-capacity oil absorbent that meets the United States Environment Protection Agency leachate regulations. It instantly absorbs hydrocarbons and can be disposed of either in a landfill or by incineration. Oclansorb is economical to use and environmentally friendly. Oclansorb is available from the High Point Distributor Network in Asia, Australia, Europe, and North America. Please contact High Point if you would like a product demonstration at your place of business. The cost of being prepared is considerably cheaper than the cost of a major cleanup. High Point distributors would be pleased to discuss how Oclansorb can be integrated into your contingency spill containment plan.